What's going on, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. Gonna get started this evening. We'll be doing some bourbon salmon, a little bit of cilantro lime rice, and some steamed green beans. So it'll be a good time. Meltdown, what's happening? Thank you so much for being first in the chat. The new emotes are pretty awesome. I'm enjoying the new emotes. We got 5 people in here already. What's up, everybody? Meltdown on a 7-stream streak, that's right. But yeah, we're doing some bourbon salmon, so tonight is going to be awesome because the bourbon salmon is a pretty cool little process that whenever you go to make the bourbon glaze, there will be flames. So that'll be kind of cool. But yeah, let's get started. Let's get going here, and I'm just going to take my time. This meal doesn't take very long, but as usual, we'll just be chit-chatting, talking back and forth, and everything else. What's up, Silver? Thanks for stopping in, brother. You'll like this one, Silver. It's bourbon salmon. It's a good one. We're going to be making some bourbon glaze for a salmon fillet, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, we'll show you guys a trick or two on the salmon and getting the skin off of it and all that good stuff. So it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. But yeah, just going to get going here, get started. I got to prep the green beans. I got to prep the salmon. Of course, we got to make the rice. We got to do all the things. So we'll just get going here while people are coming in the chat. Thank you guys for stopping in. But yeah. How y'all doing today? Silver, how was your day, brother? Meltdown, how was your day? Everybody doing good, I hope. Of course, we're going to break out the rice cooker. Get it going. And you know the process with the rice. We got to wash it first. Make it all nice. Get all the dust off of there. I'm pretty sure that I have probably come very close to burning my house down multiple times. Please, no dicing of the rice. No, we're not going to dice it. We are going to steam it, though. I'm pretty sure that I have come extremely close to burning my house down multiple times making this recipe because there will be fire. But no, it's funny because I have I used to use just like a little tiny lighter whenever I was trying to get the bourbon to catch because I have an electric stove. I don't have a propane stove. So to get the bourbon to catch on fire, I have to use a lighter or a match. And I have come scarily close to burning my arm, catching the house on fire. I've done that definitely a time or two, and it is not fun, not something that you want to do, but it makes for a really good recipe, so it's a fun time. All I'm doing now is just going to wash the rice, get all the dust off of it, so we can get it going. Now, I am just making a cup of rice this evening because I'm just cooking for myself. But obviously, if you're cooking for more people, you might want to use more rice. It is completely up to you. But I'm just making a cup of rice this evening. Get the water in there, equal parts rice to water. Make sure all the rice is down here in the bottom before we put it in our cooker. This recipe was requested from Meltdown because Meltdown wanted some seafood or some fish, and this was the first thing that came to my mind because I love this recipe and I thought it would be fun to do on stream because of the flames. So this is per request by Miss Meltdown. and we'll do some other fish and other seafood and stuff like that also at some point. But this was where my mind went first thing whenever she said fish or seafood, because I haven't made this in a while and I love this recipe so much. Where's Hungry? Didn't he want the fire? Yeah, Hungry. Where you at, homie? You wanted the fire. We're making fire for Hungry. All right, so with the rice, whenever you put it in the rice cooker, we're going to make cilantro lime rice. Wait till the end for the lime juice. But with the cilantro, and unfortunately, this is all my grocery store had. They didn't have like a bushel of cilantro. So I just got this little cup of like pre-chopped cilantro, which is fine. Cilantro is a very, very strong herb. And whenever you're using fresh cilantro, you don't want to go too heavy on it. There's a lot of people that say that cilantro kind of reminds them of dish soap. But if you don't go too heavy on it, you make sure to add some kind of citrus like lime or lemon. It's not bad. Like, it's not overwhelming. The dish soap flavor is not there. But some people like the flavor of cilantro. I just know that some people complain about it. But yeah, a little bit of cilantro. I'm going to do about a tablespoon for a cup of rice, because I don't want to overpower it. Maybe not quite enough. Maybe not quite a tablespoon. Maybe about a half a tablespoon. Because I don't want it to be too much. And like I said, we'll put the lime in at the end. Yeah, so we'll get the cilantro in there while the rice is cooking and give it a little stir. Make sure it's all stirred up and mixed in there good. Give it some nice color. Yeah, and we just, rice cooker, set it and forget it, baby. Set it and forget it. And while the rice is cooking, we'll go ahead and prep the green beans. This is a fun recipe. Don't be afraid of the fire. You don't have to burn. You don't have to cook the bourbon. You don't have to cook it with bourbon and like torch it and get the flames going and everything. But it's fun as long as you're safe about it. It's fun, and it turns out really good because it cooks off the alcohol from the bourbon and gives it a really good flavor. So yeah. I'm using fresh green beans this evening, not canned green beans. I'm using fresh green beans, but you can absolutely do steamed green beans from a can. No problem with that whatsoever. I love using fresh green beans when I can, and in the summertime, whenever we have a garden or the local community has gardens, go to your local produce store and get some fresh green beans. It's hard to beat them. Obviously, it's wintertime right now where I'm at, so we don't have the garden going, but green beans are hard to beat. Fresh green beans. I know Lilac, she comes in here, she's complaining about the green beans, but green beans are good. So yeah, with the green bean, whenever you get them fresh from the store, don't be afraid of them. You just take the end right there, pull off the end, pull off the other end, and then you can cut them in half or just break them in half or leave them whole. I'm going to leave them whole, but yeah, just get the ends of them off, and then we'll get a strainer out and kind of clean them off a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and just dump these on the counter because I'm going to wash them anyway. And then the bag that I got them in from the grocery store, I will use that for my ends. Core, what's up, brother? 100 bits? Heck yeah, man. Yeah, Core, we're making some bourbon salmon tonight, man. We're doing a bourbon glaze on the salmon. And whenever I go to cook the bourbon, there will be fire. So stick around for that, brother. It's going to be a good one. So all I'm going to do is just get my strainer out. And as I'm pulling off the ends from the green beans, I'm going to throw them in my strainer so that way I can wash them. And then actually I'm going to use my strainer to steam the beans. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Core, check it out, brother. This is the best fillet that I could find from the grocery store. But it is a hefty boy. It's a big chonking piece of salmon, brother. And if you've never cooked salmon before, or if you get salmon from the store that's got the skin on it, I'm going to show y'all a cool trick on how to get the skin off. Bourbon glaze, you better be using, not using the 1942, man. I'm using, be using some Woodford tonight. Be using some Woodford. Golly, that bottle's dusty. Maybe using some Woodford. That's fresh too. I like it. Yeah, man. But yeah, so green beans, super easy. Just pull the ends of them off. Yeah, I can't be using the expensive bourbon with some bourbon salmon, brother. You start getting into that pricey stuff, man, and it's just for cooking. It's almost seems like a waste. That's the stuff you want to sip on. But I like me some Woodford too to sip on. It's not just in the house to cook with. I like having some Woodford around. I actually got that bottle for Christmas last year for my brother. My brother's really good about every year he gets me and my other brother a bottle of liquor of some sort. And that was last year's bottle. I haven't even touched it yet. I think I've maybe had a drink out of it because I had a bottle of Larceny that he had gotten me that I was drinking on as well. But yeah, green beans is definitely a little bit of a process because, like I said, you got to pull the ends of them off. But that's why we're sitting here chatting. Get the green beans prepped for some steam. Steamed green beans are really good, depending on what kind of seasonings you put on them and depending on how much oil you use. The oil kind of cooks off of them whenever you put the oil on them. We're just going to be cooking them in olive oil because olive oil adds a good flavor to them, and it's more of like a binder to the beans for the seasoning. But steamed green beans are super healthy, and if they're fresh green beans, like from the garden or from a local produce store, it's hard to beat some good steamed green beans that are fresh out the garden. Like, talk about a good summer meal right there. But yeah, you just pull the ends of them off, super easy. You can cut the ends of them off if you want to, but it's kind of fun to snap your beans, and if you got kids, tell them to do it. Give them something to do. Be like, hey, get these ends off these beans for me. But yeah, so I actually probably got a little bit too many beans at the store, but that's okay. I'll eat them. I'll eat them, or the kids will eat them. Ain't nothing wrong with having some beans. But yeah, this is a super easy step. It's just time consuming. Some other stuff that would be good with this recipe would be some like asparagus, if you're an asparagus fan. And honestly, you can prepare the asparagus the exact same way that we're preparing these green beans. Just steam it, or you can saute it in a pan. You can bake it. A lot of people are scared of asparagus because it is kind of smelly, but asparagus is really good, and it goes good with this recipe. I've made this recipe plenty of times with asparagus in the past, and I'll cook asparagus sometime. But I wanted some green beans this evening, so that's why I'm going with the green beans. But yeah, and sometimes whenever I go to the store, I just grab a big handful of beans, and so sometimes you'll get the little gross ones that are dried out because they've been sitting there too long or whatever. But yeah, just pulling the ends of them off. If I quit dropping them in the daggone floor, it's all right. We're gonna wash them. And then we're gonna kill them with steam. Bacon wrapped asparagus. There you go, Meltdown. That sounds phenomenal. I have never done bacon wrapped asparagus, but that sounds good. Bacon wrapped anything is good. We do this thing for like whenever we do like family gatherings and family dinners. Every once in a while, my brother will take a jalapeno and he cuts it in half and cores it out, and then puts a piece of deer meat or deer tenderloin in the jalapeno, and then put a little bit of cream cheese on top and wrap it in bacon, and then he'll either smoke it or just like bake it or whatever. Oh my goodness. I used to make bacon snickerdoodles. Meltdown. Bacon snickerdoodles. I'm here for it. What's up, Nightflower? Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, we're cooking, baby. We're going to make some bourbon salmon tonight, Nightflower. Stick around. It'll be a good one. Silver with the burning chicken emote. Hopefully we're not a burning chicken here soon whenever I catch the salmon on fire. Thanks for stopping in, Nightflower. We're doing some good cooking tonight. What's up, G-Man? How you doing? We got 308 in the house. Core's already been in here. We got G-Man in here. Heck yeah. Thanks for stopping in, G-Man. We're doing some green beans and some cilantro lime rice with our salmon. We just finished eating. I made a Mexican chicken casserole that was so good. That does sound good. Listen, so where I'm at, I think we have an identity crisis in West Virginia. Because honestly, some parts of West Virginia claim that they're like, Northerners or whatever. Some parts of West Virginia claim that they're Southerners. Some parts of West Virginia claim that they're Midwesterners. So West Virginia is like a weird state geographically. And, I got to see what you cooking. Oh, yeah, G-Man. West Virginia, there's so many different cultures and, like, food ideas and everything. Yeah, G-Man, check out some of those emotes, man. Some of those emotes are pretty good. Silver got a couple emotes for me, and I've been playing around with making emotes. So some of the new emotes are pretty cool. But yeah, so there's a lot of different like cultures and a lot of different recipes and stuff. What's up, Andy boy? This is a good one tonight, Andy boy. But yeah, there's a lot of different cultures and family recipes that kind of go around in casseroles, even though that's generally like a Midwestern thing. Casseroles are huge in West Virginia. There's a lot of people that make casseroles for family dinners and stuff like that. And so a Mexican chicken casserole sounds pretty daggum phenomenal if you ask me. I would probably tear that up. What's good, Andy boy? Thanks for stopping in, brother. Some of these green beans are a little on the wimpy side, so we're going to get rid of them. We're just prepping our beans here, Andy boy. We're doing some fresh green beans tonight. Some steamed green beans. Man, this rice has only been cooking for like a few minutes and it already smells phenomenal. Alright, so yeah, I got the ends off the green beans. And all I'm going to do now is just give them a little wash in the sink. And then we'll set up for the steaming process. And if I quit making a daggone mess everywhere, and then take all my ends and we'll just throw them away. I used to have chickens. Give your green bean ends to your chickens. Chickens love that kind of stuff. What's up, chicken? We ain't making chicken tonight. We're making some salmon. Not too much right now. I'm going to do a Dutch oven tonight for some chicken. The rice and potatoes, brother. I got a Dutch oven that I've been using for years. And I've got it to where it's seasoned and it's good. I make all kinds of stuff in the Dutch oven. I'm all about some Dutch oven recipes, brother. Why are you cooking me? Yeah, we're not cooking salmon, but Andy boy, or sorry, we're not cooking chicken, but Andy boy is. Get my trash can out here, and then, like I said, I'm just gonna give the green beans a little wash and rinse here. One thing that I'm absolutely fed up with is stink bugs. I have bugged my house, I have sprayed my house, I have done all the things that I can do, that I know to do, and stink bugs just be showing up. I've always got stink bugs hanging around, stink bugs and ladybugs, and I'm tired of them. I got a stink bug right here on my counter. He wasn't there 10 minutes ago. I don't know where he came from. I'm going to make that an emote. I'm going to make a stink bug into an emote that's smashing them or something. I'm sick of stink bugs. I'm sick of stink bugs and I'm sick of ladybugs. All right, got my green beans rinsed off there. We need to get you an apron. I have an apron. Check it. You want to see my apron? I'll put my apron on. I really only use it whenever it is, whenever I'm cooking like something with flour or something, so I keep the flour off of me. We had stink bugs in Ohio. They were horrible. Yeah, night flower. Stink bugs are the worst. Because you can't get rid of them. I've tried everything to get rid of them. But yeah, I got me an apron. Dog sat once and didn't know the dog was playing with one and killed it, and only that smell. Oh my gosh, yeah. My dogs try to eat them. My dogs will sit there and like smack them with their paws and stuff, and I'm like, cut it out. We don't want to smash the stink bugs. That's how you get the stink. But yeah, I got an apron. It's a little heavy. I wouldn't mind getting a new apron, and maybe that's not a bad idea. Is getting an apron with the Dino Dad logo on it. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I really only wear an apron whenever I'm cooking like with flour or whatever, so I don't get it all over me. Like whenever I'm cooking with like something that's generally pretty messy. For the most part, I don't wear an apron, but maybe I should start wearing an apron, especially tonight because we're going to be cooking with fire, literally. So that's not a bad idea. Getting a new apron with like the Dino Dag logo on it, that'd be kind of cool. I wonder if there's like a company on Etsy or something that makes like custom aprons or something. That'd be kind of cool to look into. Andy Boy with the 7 stream streak. Thanks, brother. It looks like a Carhartt one. Yeah, it kind of does look like a Carhartt. It's a 511 brand, and I got it for free because I was buying stuff from 511 years ago for the military. And it was like, if you spend so much money, you get the free apron. And so like it's like kind of excessive for an apron, but it is a good quality apron, I will say that. Drink water. Here you go, Andy. I was taking a drink anyway, and you already beat me to it with a command. There are websites you can get customs, but yeah, definitely Etsy too. Okay, Meltdown, we'll look into that. That'd be kind of cool, getting a custom-made apron with the Dino Dad logo on it. That'd be pretty slick. All right, so all I'm going to do now, I washed off my green beans. I'm going to put them in a bowl so I can put a little bit of oil, a little bit of seasoning on them. And with the green beans, you can kind of season them however you want. Just some basic salt and pepper would be perfectly fine. But we're going to spice it up just a little bit. And I'm going to put just enough olive oil on them just to coat them so the seasoning will stick to the green beans. That's all we're doing. Just a little bit of olive oil there, just enough to get the seasoning to stick. And like I said, whenever you go to steam the green beans, that oil comes off of them anyway. And for the rice is already done. Check it out. Go ahead and unplug it. For a seasoning, I think I'm just going to do some garlic powder, some onion powder, some salt and pepper. We're going to keep it simple. G-Man needs to start listening to people when they tell him to drink water. You gotta drink water, man. You gotta drink water. Listen, I am guilty as all get out with energy drinks and coffee. I don't really drink soda. I'll drink a soda at like if I go out to eat somewhere because I don't like drinking tap water just anywhere I go. But you gotta drink water. If you drink an energy drink, drink a bottle of water. If you drink a cup of coffee, drink a bottle of water. Your body needs it. Gotta drink some water. What's up, TTV Billy? Thanks for stopping in. We cooking, baby. We cooking. Like I said, a little bit of cracked pepper, a little bit of salt on the beans, and we're going to do a little bit of onion powder and a little bit of garlic powder. And I had to get some new onion powder and garlic powder. That's how much I use onion powder and garlic powder. I got to get the big boys. I got to get the big cans. Because I be using some onion powder and garlic powder, let me tell you. Yeah, on the green beans, we're just going to keep it simple. Do some salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. That's all we're doing. And we'll get it set up. I'll show you guys how I am currently steaming vegetables, because I do steam vegetables quite a bit. And I do not have a steaming basket or any kind of contraption to do steaming. But there is a workaround. There is a trick. And we're going to show you that trick tonight, live, on stream. So yeah, garlic powder. Do pretty decent amount of garlic powder. I'd say about a teaspoon or so. I like garlic though. So that is your discretion on how much garlic powder you're using. And then the same with onion powder. Not a crazy amount of onion powder, but a decent amount. Again, personal preference. You don't even have to do that. Just do salt and pepper. But all we're going to do is we're going to give it a little toss here. It's got that olive oil in there to coat the green beans and lets the salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder stick to it. That's all it is. And there's your green beans, prepped and ready to roll. We cooking, baby. Extra garlic powder. That's right, Auntie. That's right. Get that extra garlic powder in there. Garlic goes in everything in this household. I swear, I think I've probably made some kind of dessert before and used garlic powder or some form of garlic. Yeah, garlic and onion powder. Yeah, gotta love the garlic and onion powder. All right, so with steaming your green beans, if you have a steaming basket or a steaming pot or some sort of apparatus to do your steaming, cool. I do not. That's something that I would like to get, so it makes my steaming procedure a lot easier. But this is a little trick. If your strainer, as long as it is a metal strainer or colander, you can use pretty much any pot. Because that's kind of a bigger strainer, I have to use a bigger pot. So I'm breaking out the big soup pot, big pasta pot, whatever you want to call it. And all you have to do is set your strainer into the top of your pot, like so, and then the lid on top of whatever you're steaming. And voila, homemade, rigged up steaming basket. It's that easy. And then whenever you go to steam your green beans, you just put about an inch of water in the bottom of the pot and steaming basket, done. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go ahead and put like an inch of water in the bottom of the pot. And we're going to set that on the stove. I'm actually going to move it up here. Well, no, I'll put it in the back because we're still going to prep our salmon. And then, like I said, the steamer, the strainer, the colander goes on top. And then you put your green beans in, a lid on top, steaming basket. Done and done. If the stream is kind of laggy, let me know. Because on my end, it's coming through as kind of laggy and glitchy. It might be something that I can fix. We got 13 people in here. What's up, everybody? Say something in the chat so I know you're here. We can give you a shout out. Say what's up. What are you guys having for dinner? What are you guys cooking for dinner? Let us know. We can talk about it. We like food around here. All right, so the salmon. Here comes the fun part. Salmon with skin. Don't be afraid with salmon to cook some salmon with skin, because we're going to show you a trick on how to get the skin off of the salmon. So if you got salmon at the store and you want to cook some salmon and it's got the skin on it, I'm going to show you a trick, okay? Super easy. Like I said, this is a big honking boy right here. This is all that my local grocery store had. I would love to have some fresh salmon, but the boys are making a cake. Heck yeah. You love food? What kind of cake, Meltdown? What kind of cake are y'all making in the Meltdown house? I love food. Yeah, I love food too. I'm pretty passionate about cooking, and I'm pretty passionate about food. That's why I enjoy doing the streaming thing, because it's fun to talk with everybody, talk about food, share recipes, do all that kind of stuff. That's what's fun about this whole process for me, is sharing stuff with everybody, sharing recipes, and then showing people how to cook different stuff. If you never cooked salmon before, then you can kind of come in, hang out, and learn a thing or two. That's what it's all about, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so for the salmon, you want to get some boiling hot water. So I'm just going to get a little pan here. Decent amount in the bottom of this little pan. We'll move this to the back. And we'll get this boiling right before boiling. So it doesn't have to be like rolling boiling. Just needs to be plenty hot. Just a vanilla cake with chocolate frosting. Hey, you can't go wrong with a good old classic vanilla cake. Cannot go wrong with that. Meltdown. Now I want cake. Get some water boiling here, and get you some kind of a wire rack of some sort. You can do this over the sink if you want to, but just for the sake of on the stream so you guys can see it really good, I'm going to do it over a pan and a wire rack. And then check it out. I'm going to move my camera so you guys can see better. Yeah, the rice is already done over here. Green beans. Got the water boiling, or getting ready to boil anyway. Let me pull this back up so I can see Chad again. And we're just going to set the salmon on the pan with the wire rack is all we're going to do. I'll make you a deal, Meltdown. I'll send you some salmon. You send me some cake. I'll trade you salmon for cake. And I am breaking out some rubber gloves because I'm going to get this salmon out. And salmon do be smelling fishy, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, just get the salmon out of our pack here. And like I said, it is a chonkin piece of salmon. But as you can see, it's got that skin on there. And all you're going to do is just lay that meat side down with the skin facing up. And then we got to wait for our water to boil here. Hey, one of these days we're going to figure out how to do this transporting food thing. So I can send y'all food, and then y'all can send me cakes and stuff for dessert. We can do a gift exchange for food. That'll be cool. Our green beans, I'm going to go ahead and toss them in the basket. I'm not going to start that yet. I'm going to hold off on steaming the green beans for now. But I got those set in the pot. I watched a watch pot doesn't boil. Yeah, more so when 10 people are watching it. You're exactly right, Nightflower. With our rice, I'm gonna go ahead and get a lime here, and you can just use like regular bottled lime if you want to, like just a bottle of lime juice, but I'm going to use a fresh lime. Trick on your lime work here, roll it on the counter, get it all nice and smashed up, so when you go to cut it and squeeze it, the juice comes out a lot easier. And then I'm also going to throw a couple pieces of butter in the rice and let that melt down over top of the rice. I prefer to add the butter to the rice after it's cooked and let it melt over the fresh rice rather than cooking the butter into it, because it gives it a fluffier, makes it like fluffier, makes it a little bit better. And then we'll go ahead and cut our lime in half here. Need to sharpen my knife. And finish the rice with the lime juice. You do not want to cook the lime juice in the rice when it's cooking. Lime juice is more of a finisher because you don't want to the lime juice, whenever it cooks, it turns everything it'll give it like a bitter flavor. So you want to finish the rice with the lime juice, not cook the lime juice into the rice. Alright, so we're going to move this to the back here because our water is boiling. Alright, now check it. Here comes the fun part on the skin. So if you have never made salmon with skin on it, this is a super easy step. Just take your boiling water, go right over the top of the skin side, go right over the top of it, slowly pour it over top of it here. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Now that skin should just peel right off. There we go. And that's that. It's that simple. Now, salmon skin is really good if you fry it. So we could throw that salmon skin in the air fryer. Some people like that. Not a huge fan of salmon skin, so I'm not going to do that. But a lot of people would take this and fry it, throw it in the air fryer or whatever, get it all crispy, and some people like that. Easy breezy, exactly. Easy breezy. There. Skin's off the salmon. It's ready to go. Because this is such a huge piece of salmon, I am going to cut it in half. But you can cook it all together if you want to. Salmon is so good. Yeah, TTV Billy. Wait till you see what we're doing with this piece of salmon. Wait till you see what we're doing with it, man. I'm going to cut this piece of salmon in half because it is such a big piece of salmon. Wipe that little bit of lime juice off my cutting board. Now I'm just going to take this piece of salmon, big honking boy, over to my cutting board, and I'm just going to cut it in half. So whenever we go to cook it, we'll have two pieces to cook there. Let me flip this camera back up here. Get our pan ready. We're rolling. We cooking, baby. We rolling with it. We rolling with it. All right, as far as the salmon goes, salt and pepper, and that's about it. You don't want to go too crazy on the seasoning for the salmon because it is going to be a very sweet glaze that we're going to make into it. So we don't want to put like garlic or onion or anything in there. Just simple salt and pepper. That's all we're doing with the salmon before we cook it. So I'm going to do just a little bit of olive oil, just enough for a binder on the salmon. And then, like I said, salt, pepper. That's all we're doing. Get my glove back on here and just do a little bit of oil on the salmon. Get that rubbed around there. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. And then we'll flip it over here and get the other side. Same thing, a little bit of oil. Rub that around. A little bit of salt and pepper. That's all we're doing. Because the flavor for this salmon is going to come from the bourbon glaze. All right, I'm going to go ahead and kick on our green beans and get that rolling in the back here. Get that set up. Like I said, our green beans are already sitting in our strainer. And so I'm just going to go ahead and kick that on. And you can go kind of high heat on this. Because once the water boils and the steam starts rolling, and you want to steam it for about 10 minutes on your green beans. And you want the steam to be rolling for the green beans. Get my little fancy timer here and go ahead and set it to 10 minutes. So whenever the beans are ready to time, we'll get that rolling. Salt and pepper, baby. Salt and pepper. That's right, G-Man. Look, I ain't even opened this bottle yet. It is a brand new bottle. It's been sitting up there for a while. But yeah, as far as the bourbon goes, you don't have to do anything high dollar, high fancy or anything like that. This is all I have right now. I would usually not put this in the salmon, just because it doesn't have to be high quality bourbon. It doesn't have to be high quality whiskey. But this is all I've got right now. So just use what you have. If you don't have anything, you can just get the little shooters from the liquor store or whatever. But because this is all I have, this is what we're using tonight. And now with the pan for the salmon, again, just a little bit of olive oil on the bottom. Nothing too crazy. You don't want to drown it in oil, but just enough to keep it from sticking in the bottom of the pan. That's all we're doing. I was talking to a buddy of mine on the phone earlier for doing these streams and stuff, and he came up with a pretty cool idea. I think I'm going to try it. Push, baby, baby. Yeah, that's right. I think I'm going to try it for a stream one day. Just nothing but eggs. Dad joke? Oh, meltdown. I'm going to have to go get my book. I ain't got one off the dome. BRB. Get my book of dad jokes out here. We'll just open to a random page. Why did the banana put on sunscreen? Because he didn't want to peel. That's pretty fitting because I sunburn like terrible. But we were talking about doing different streams, and he was giving me some ideas of what would go good on stream. And he kind of shot the idea of just eggs. All things eggs. Boiled eggs, deviled eggs, egg salad, Gordon Ramsay eggs, scrambled eggs, omelets, over easy eggs, flipping eggs, preparing eggs, making meringue out of egg whites, and just doing all eggs. I was like, that's actually a pretty good idea. Just whatever I can think of to cook with eggs, because I could make like all kinds of different eggs recipes, and that'd be kind of fun. So I might do that. Yeah, a quiche. So many different egg ideas. So many different things you can do with eggs. And it would be a fun stream, I think. But yeah, that pot is already starting to cook because, like I said, you don't want to put that much water in the bottom of your pot whenever you're steaming. You just want to get enough water going in there to get some steam rolling. I have 4 dozen fresh eggs right now. Meltdown. Bring them on. Bring the eggs. We'll do a whole egg stream. I figured you could probably do just off the top of my head, at least 10 different egg recipes, and that would be kind of fun. So all we're doing now, we're gonna get this oil hot in the bottom of our pan. Get our pan nice and hot, because you want to cook the salmon almost entirely before you do the bourbon and the sugar. So you got to cook the salmon first before you get going with the bourbon glaze. And I'm going to get this pan out of the way. Alright, so our skillet's nice and hot. I'm going to drop that down to a medium heat. And then I'm just going to slowly set our salmon in the pan here. Oh yeah. Just get that going. Over medium heat. Because this is a big piece of salmon, we don't want to cook it too fast. What's up, Small Time Hero? What's up, man? Thanks for stopping in. We are doing a bourbon salmon, some steamed green beans, and some cilantro lime rice. Got the rice pretty much done. It's just chilling in the back right now. We got the green beans in the steamer. We set up a steamer over here. Steam the green beans, and then we are cooking the salmon right now. Like I said, medium heat. You don't want it to scorch the salmon or anything like that. And I'm actually going to throw a lid on this bad boy to make sure that the salmon cooks all the way through. Because we want to make sure the salmon's cooked before we add the bourbon. Our green beans are steaming. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the timer on the green beans because you want to steam them for like 10 minutes. And we're not even at an hour yet, so this is rolling pretty fast. And we're even chit-chatting and talking and everything else. It's a quick process. It's a quick process. It's not hard. It doesn't take up too much time. Just want to let that salmon go. You don't want to try to move it around. You want to let it get that nice crust on the bottom before you flip it and do the other thing, or do the other side on the crust before you add the bourbon and the sugar. So just kind of let it go, and then it'll break from the pan whenever it's ready. It'll release. And what I mean by that is you'll be able to move the salmon around without it being stuck to the bottom. Where's the Dino Kids? They are not here this evening, Small Time. It's just old Dino Dad. The stars of the show are not here. I think everybody enjoyed the Dino Fam Chaos stream the other day. It was a lot of fun. The boys had a blast. They loved it. Get us a spatula here so we can flip this salmon. Like I said, this salmon, when it's ready to flip, it'll be able to move. So where it's moving already, we're going to go ahead and flip it over. Now, honestly, probably could have gone just a little bit longer to get it more color, but we'll flip it back over here in a minute too. Thanks, Small Time. I think everybody enjoyed the Dino Kids and the chaos the other night, so it's not as chaotic here this evening. Just old Dad here by himself. Oh, you just wait, Small Time. Wait till we catch this bad boy on, set some fire in the pan. You just wait. The best is yet to come. You want to make sure that the salmon is good and cooked before, like I said, before you do the bourbon glaze. You can see the steam rolling with these green beans. We're about 4 minutes in on the green beans steaming. How old are your kids? My oldest is 9. And then baby Dino is 2. 9 and 2. A lot of years in between them, but it's been pretty awesome. The 9-year-old is teaching the 2-year-old a lot. Like, he helps a ton with like teaching him things, and some things maybe should not be teaching him, but that's okay. That's what older brothers are for, right? We need to summon Hungry for the fire. Yeah, I don't know where Hungry's at. He wanted the fire. So we're doing the fire. Again, that salmon, you just want to make sure to get that crust on the bottom. Let it cook. Let it cook. Let it cook, baby. Let it cook. And I got that lid on there. Kind of keep the heat in. It helps cook the salmon. But it also keeps from all that splashing up. Because it is definitely popping. It's popping. We're cooking, baby. We're cooking. Green beans are almost done. Got about 5-6 minutes left on the green beans. The rice is done. Salmon is still trying to get that nice crust on the side of it. G-Man and I are 16 months apart, and then there are 6 years between G-Man and our other brother and sister. I hear you. So you and G-Man are pretty close in age, and you got some older siblings. Yeah, I'm the youngest of 3 boys. I got 2 older brothers. That was my nephew in stream the other night. Is my oldest brother's son. And you have custody of your 14-year-old cousin. Okay. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Keep that love in the family, you know what I mean? Yeah, we're going to let that go just a little bit longer. Move them around here. Make sure I get that good crust on the bottom. With the steaming of the green beans, you want to try not to open the lid because you want to trap as much of that steam in there as you can. This process is a lot easier if you actually have a steaming basket, but we're making do with what we got. Again, you don't want to go super high on the heat for the salmon because you want to make sure to cook it all the way through, especially if it's a big thick one like this is. Go ahead and get our sugar ready. We got our bourbon ready to roll. And I need a lighter. For the fire, baby! The fire! I'm going to go ahead and flip this around so I can try to get crust on the other side as well. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See, that's what we was looking for right there. And with that salmon, I'm using the other set of tongs so it doesn't break apart. Because once that salmon cooks and it starts to flake out, if you flip it too violently, it'll break apart. We don't want that. We want to keep the salmon together. So that's why I was kind of assisting it with the tongs as far as the flip goes, because we don't want the salmon to start crumbling. And it will do that once it gets cooked. Y'all, the smell in here is phenomenal. Between the green beans, the rice is already cooked, the salmon, oh, it smells so good in here. We've got to figure out how to get the smell to you all, to the people. We have 12 people in here. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're just hanging out. We're cooking some bourbon salmon. The show is about to begin with the fire. The best part of the evening is about to happen. We're just making sure that the salmon's cooked through all the way. But that's the best part, is the bourbon glaze. Drink water. What are some other ideas, guys? What else do you want to see on stream? What else do we want to cook? What do we want to see next? Still got to do some pork chops. Nobody's requested those, but I've just been wanting to make some pork chops, so that's why we got pork chops as an option. Alright, so I'm going to check and see how the other side of that salmon looks. We got good color on this side, but I want to make sure the other side has good color, and then we'll kill the heat. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. We cooking. We cooking, baby. So I'm going to go ahead and kill the heat. Let that kind of set for a second, because we don't want it to be crazy hot for this next step in the process. Yep, it's time for the fire. Unusual Dwarf, it's time for fire! You came in here at a perfect time! G-Mom is making stuffed pork chops tomorrow. Heck yeah! I'm going to be doing my pork chops in the cast iron. I'm a huge cast iron fan. Alright, ladies and gents. It's the time you've all been waiting for. It's time for the fire. Alright, so, with your sugar, you want to kind of just cover it. Just enough sugar to kind of cover the fillets, and then enough sugar on the side, because we want there to be enough of a glaze at the end as almost kind of like a sauce. So, I would say about a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of sugar. Because that bourbon glaze is sugar in the bourbon. Kind of get that worked around there. Alright, drum roll, ladies and gents. It's time. Crucial part in the process. Take it off the heat, get it away from your cabinets, all that stuff, because there will be flames. Actually, perfect timing. Green beans are done. I'm going to pull them off. It's time. It is time. Alright, so about an ounce or so of bourbon. Let it set for just a second before you add the fire. And then we cooking, baby. We cooking. And you just want to get that bourbon, all the alcohol cooked off of the bourbon. And I'm sure my smoke detectors are about to go off. That's why I was saying you want to do this away from the stove. You want to do this away from your kids. You want to do this away from your arms. Because you do not want to burn. There goes the smoke alarms. You do not want to burn anybody. We knew that was going to happen. And we're back. Just keep that moving around. It'll get the alcohol cooked off. Welcome to the chaos, baby. Yes, fire, baby, fire. Just keep that moving around until all the flames are gone and it cooks all the alcohol off. And we're going to put a lid on that for a second. Make sure all the flames are out. Oh my gosh. All right, we got Ubu. Ubu Gigantifani emote for 30 bits. Thanks, Ubu. Ubu Bits. Ubits is in the house. Yes, we got fire. We did not singe any arm hairs. We did not burn the house down. All is well. All is well in the Dino household. What's up, Ryder? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are cooking with fire literally tonight. Now the question is, will those smoke detectors work when it's actually needed? I swear, my smoke detectors, I swear I'm changing the batteries on them things like every 2 months. And it's probably because I set them off so much. No, small time. That's enough on the bourbon glaze. That is enough bourbon glaze. Because we now have enough in the bottom of the pan to have a decent little amount of sauce to go over top of everything. And then the salmon looking all nice and colored. Got a nice color on there. So it looks good. Looks good. Yes, we are cooking with fire. Unusual Dwarf. Yeah, baby, we got the fire going. I'm going to take my other half of lime and I'm going to squeeze it over my green beans because I like lime on my green beans. Completely optional. I just like it. So I'm just going to take that, go over top of my green beans. Because again, you want to use lime juice as a finisher, because if you cook the lime juice into these things, it makes it bitter. Yeah, we've also made quite the mess, but that's okay. We'll clean it up. And just like that, everything's done. We're only at an hour and a minute. So, not even, just over an hour. And dinner's ready. So we're going to plate everything up here. Got our rice. Give it a little mix. So got the cilantro in there. Like I said, we added a little bit of butter to keep it from drying out. Added a little bit of flavor. And then we got that lime juice in there. So the rice is all good. We'll get our plate out here. Go down with our rice. Go on in here with our piece of salmon. And then our green beans. And then I'm just going to get a spoon and ladle some of that, because there will be a little bit of your sauce, a little bit of your glaze in the bottom of that pan. I'm just going to spoon a little bit of that over top of the salmon. And there you have it, folks. Bourbon salmon. We didn't burn the house down. Here with no audio. Chicken. Y'all can hear me? Can you hear me? I'm sure you guys heard me. You heard the daggone smoke detectors going off. I need to learn the art of texting. Get a picture of this bad boy here. There we have it, ladies and gents. Bourbon salmon, cilantro lime rice, some fresh steamed green beans. Phenomenal meal. Phenomenal. It's going to taste really good. As long as you don't burn your house down, it is a family-friendly meal, because we did cook all the alcohol off of the bourbon, and it just gives it a good, like, smoky bourbon flavor with the sugar, and it's sweet, and it's super, super good. Pretty easy meal. Just don't be intimidated by the fire. Don't be intimidated by the salmon skin. We showed you how to pull that off there. It's a super easy process. But yeah, I guess we can go ahead and eat it. I don't know if that's something that you guys want to see, but we got our picture here. We'll at least cut open the salmon. Oh yeah, look at there. Salmon cooked all the way through. That is beauty right there. Get you a little piece of that rice, a little piece of that salmon. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. We cooking, baby. Try our green beans here. Cooked perfectly. Not mushy at all. Steam them for 10 minutes. That's the way to go. Guys, thanks so much for coming in. Nice. Lax. I don't know what that means. Unusual dwarf. I'm sorry. Now teleport me some salmon, please and thank you. Yes, Meltdown. Flaky and right. Yep, yeah, flaky and nice. Yes. Nice and flaky, absolutely. The salmon come out perfect. We need to figure out this whole teleportation thing. So y'all, Meltdown can teleport me some cake, and I'll teleport her some salmon. But that's it. I gotta clean up this kitchen. I'm gonna finish eating, and but thank you guys so much for coming in. Thank you guys for stopping in. Kind of a short stream tonight, only an hour, but obviously fantastic recipe. I save all my VODs on my channel, and what I'm starting to do now. Yes, Nate, need to taste some samples. Yeah, Unusual Dwarf. Hey, listen, anybody's invited for dinner anytime. Listen, y'all want to meet up? Y'all want to come over for dinner? I'll cook dinner for everybody. I don't care if there's 200 of y'all. We're cooking, baby. We're cooking. But yeah, I'm taking these videos and I'm trying to save them and then upload them to YouTube and TikTok, or at least make short form for TikTok. And so that way you guys can go back and watch them if you want to in the future. I post all the recipes and all the ingredient list on Discord. But of course you guys can go back and watch the videos and write down what we cook. So that way you guys can come back to it in the future. So yeah, go follow my YouTube links on here so you can watch those in the future if you want to. My TikTok links on here. And then I save my VODs on Twitch as well. So you can always go back and watch them later if you want to make this recipe at home. Super easy. I've been going for an hour and a half, or an hour and 7 minutes, and we cooked the whole meal. Took our time. Nothing too crazy. You could honestly probably only make this meal about 30-40 minutes. It doesn't take long at all. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for stopping in. I will talk to you guys again very soon. I don't know what we're cooking next on stream, but I'll let you guys know. Of course, I'll post it on Discord and all that good stuff. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to try to do this here. Pull open. Yep. Thank you all. We'll talk soon.